What's up everyone, Saints fan back again with another GTA 5 video, and today we're going to be taking a little break in this video from all the gun running stuff. I mean, this might be a little gun running related, at least if you want to get prepared and want to get ready for the update, but we're not going to be talking about the gun running DLC too much in this video. What this video is about though is how to make money in a super quick and easy way. And I know you may be thinking, oh, I already know how to make money in a super quick and easy way, but there's actually a new method where you can make close to $1 million an hour. Depending on your luck and depending on what missions you get, you can make basically $1 million per hour, which is absolutely insane. That's solo. I think you might be able to make a little bit more if you do this with friends. I'm not entirely sure. I prefer this stuff solo just because it's a lot easier. You don't have to rely on other people. You don't have to wait for other people. But this is a super quick and easy way to make a ton of money. And let's just assume you do this, 2 hours a day, and you do this for the next 7 days, thinking that the gun running DLC is going to be coming out next Tuesday. That's $14 million right there. That's a ton of money for that upcoming DLC. And, a lot of people have been asking about, how much money the DLC is going to cost. And if the pass is anything to go on, it's going to cost a lot of money. So you're going to want to be prepared. You're going to want to have a decent amount of money in your bank account when the DLC does drop. So hopefully this video does help you guys out. Now, the prerequisites to actually earning this money, you have to have a clubhouse and you have to have a Coke business. I'm not entirely sure if you have to have it fully upgraded. I think you might get more money if it's fully upgraded. I could be wrong. If anyone wants to let me know in the comments, then, please do. Mine was fully upgraded. I had everything purchased in it, so that's what I'm going to be basing everything off of in this video. Also, since I'm going to be doing the solo, I'm not going to be selling a full business warehouse or whatever you want to call it. I'm only going to be selling once I get the product bar to 1.5 bars instead of the full 5. And the reason we're going to be doing that is because when you get it to 1.5 bars, it's only going to spawn one vehicle for you to sell the items in. Sometimes when you have 5 bars, it'll make you deliver the cocaine in 2 different vehicles, like 2 helicopters, 2 planes, 2 slow freaking post-op, vans. And obviously if you're doing this solo, that is not going to work. So that's why we're doing this at 1.5 bars. But again, there are, certain things that you can do differently if you're playing with friends. Maybe you do want to get it to 5 bars because you want to get the full 500-something thousand payout instead of the 160,000 payout, which we're going to receive by doing only 1.5 bars. I'll touch on that a little bit more in a second. The first thing, and the way we're going to start this out, go ahead and purchase the Coke warehouse. Obviously that's number 1. Kit it out if you want to just be safe. It's going to cost another $1 million, I believe, to buy all the upgrades, and then buy supplies. Once you do that, unfortunately, you have to wait about 10 minutes or so for them to be delivered. In that time, you can do whatever you want. You can either just go AFK, do something else, or you can maybe do a CEO VIP mission or something quickly to make like $20-something thousand. Obviously, that's up to you, but I decided to just wait for it. Once you actually get the supplies, though, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer for the supplies to run down because the method that we're going to be doing requires you to have requires you to be able to steal supplies to resupply your cocaine business. And the only way you get that option is when your supplies are not full. So once you do buy those supplies, you will have to wait a little bit longer for some of the supplies to go down. It shouldn't take too long, but just know that. Now, this is where this entire method is going to start. Once the supplies have gone down a little bit, go to the computer in the cocaine shop, whatever you want to call it, and go to the resupply section. Now, it will give you the 2 options of buying more supplies or stealing the supplies. What you're going to do is hit the steal supplies button. That'll put you outside, and then the LJT will call you. Right as he calls you, just hit B, hang up the phone, and instantly find a new session. And what this is going to do, and by the way, you probably want to make sure your spawn location is set to last location so you spawn constantly at the warehouse. But once you get into that new session and you go back into the cocaine business, you will notice the product has gone up a half a bar. And this is actually the main part of this method. What you're going to be doing is constantly doing that, what we just did, that sort of sequence, going to the computer, going to steal supplies, waiting until LJT calls you, hitting the B button, hanging up on them, then finding a new session. Every time you do that sequence, your product bar will go up a half a bar. So by doing this, you're not going to have to wait for the product bar to fill up normally. And it only takes 3 times normally. Sometimes it takes 2 times for the bar to get to 1.5. That's the one that that's how far I'm gonna make it go. Again, if you're doing this with friends, you may want to just keep doing that sequence to get it up to 5 bars. I think it takes maybe like 10 minutes depending on how long the loading screens are for you to get it to 5 bars. But once you get it, or once I got it to 1.5 bars, that's what we're actually going to sell. You will notice now that we have 1.5 bars, I'm gonna go back to the computer and I'm gonna hit sell. Sometimes, by the way, depending on how low your supplies are, just be aware of that. Be aware of your supplies. Right before you do hit the sell button, you might want to resupply because it'll save you time down the line. But I'll touch on that on the second go around of this entire process. So I have the 1.5 bars and I'm going to sell it. Obviously, we're going to sell it the furthest away because we make like $157,000. And luckily for me, I got the helicopter mission, which is actually really good because obviously flying a helicopter is much easier and much quicker than taking like a slow van or something. So I got the helicopter, I went to go deliver the stuff, and then boom, it took like maybe 7 minutes max, and I got $157,000, I think, on the first run. So for what, maybe 10 minutes of waiting, of doing all the intro stuff, $150,000, that's pretty good. But the best part, we're gonna fly back to our warehouse or our business. Then we're gonna do that same sequence again. We're gonna go to the resupply tab, we're going to go to steal supplies, we're going to hang up on LJT, and then find a new mission. And we're going to do that 1 or 2 more times until we get 1.5 bars again. And I think the second time I did this, my supplies were super low, so I did go ahead and resupply it. Sometimes, by the way, the resupply, like when you're paying for the resupply, it'll cost like 75k, sometimes it's 60k, sometimes it's 45k. I'm not entirely sure what sort of changes that. I guess just how low your supplies get, but just know that, you know, sometimes it'll be more than others. But once I did do that resupply, then we did the sell yet again. So I went and sold my 1.5 bars, my 1.5 product, and then luckily again, I got the same helicopter mission. So I went and did it, took like 5 or so minutes, flew back, and we're going to continue this over and over again. The third and final time I did it, just because I didn't want to have this go on for super long, I actually got a different sell mission. I did the same sequence with LJT, hanging up on him, finding a new session over and over again until I got 1.5 bars. But the third time, it actually gave me a truck, which I had to deliver to the city. And this time I actually had a few more people in my lobby, so I believe I got like 160,000 instead of 157,000. But it's super easy, super quick, and this makes you a ton of money. I mean, in that 30-minute span, I made $477,000 from doing this stuff. So just, you know, adding that up with some math here, 30 minutes for that, you know, an hour, that's close to $1 million, and then you can figure out the rest from there. But it's super easy and it's super quick, and you can make a ton of money, as you just saw. Again, if you want to do this solo, basically do what I did. If you want to do this with friends, you can, but just know that if you're doing this with friends, you're going to have to wait on them to join your lobby constantly, because you're basically switching lobbies like every few minutes. So you are going to have to wait for them to get into your lobby again so you can invite them and then let them help you sell this stuff and drive the vehicles around. Also, some other tips, like if you get a sell mission, let's say you get the post-op van truck and you don't want to do it because it's freaking slow and you just don't want to deal with that, you can actually find a new session, and I believe you only lose like a half a product bar. You really don't lose anything. You don't, there's like no negative consequences for actually stopping the selling mission. Also, this might get patched in the next update, so you might actually only have 7 more days to do this. So that's why I am posting this today. I would highly recommend, whether it's solo or with friends, using this method to make a decent amount of money, because you can never have too much money when it comes to wanting to buy DLC items. You know, who knows how much this stuff is going to cost, and it's better to be safe than sorry. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. Let me know in the comment section, because I'm kind of curious, how much money do you guys have right now, like as of this moment, for the gun running DLC? I've asked this a few times, at least on Twitter, and I think even in my Discord, and people have, you know, a couple, maybe like $10 to $20 million, and I feel like that's a pretty good amount. But again, you can never have too much money in this game. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please drop it a like and subscribe for more awesome GTA content. Thank you all for watching, and as always, I will see you guys in the next one.